Following total atomic annihilation, the rebuilding of this great nation of ours may fall to you. That's why we at Vault-Tec have prepared these educational materials for you to better understand the 7 defining attributes that make you special.
Oh, well, hello there, my special little wieners, and welcome to a slightly different episode today, full of love made by Coffee Barbarian about gaming. I wanted to talk about my love of gaming today and hopefully encourage you in the comments to talk about your love of gaming. And for this episode, I reached out to my Discordian family and they did not let me down. So I'm going to go through some of the games that influenced my Discordians, and they are all different ages from all different places in the world, and they played kind of similar games-ish and played on different consoles, and we have some older gamers in there, so it was enlightening. I went through the internet, man, and I found some of these consoles and they're still selling them. I want to talk about them, and I want to talk about my love of gaming, and I want you to tell me about your love of gaming in the comments. And that means pivotal moments, games that changed the way your brain worked. What gaming means to you. Is it the community? Is it the game? Is it the escapism? Is it the murdering? I mean, what is it? We all want to know. So we're going to have a look. I started with one of my all-time favorite games, Fallout 4. Just because of the vibe. Look how great these little animations are. This is my thing that I really love about games. The amount of intricate, teeny tiny little details the devs put in. All that hard work that someone did for this little storyline, this little side storyline, just to entertain our eyeballs and our minds. You're telling me what, man? What? I love it.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I made it across. It's really bad here, Verlaine. I think there's something here.
Oh man, what a trailer. I did a whole playthrough of Alien Isolation and I loved every second. And the thing I liked about that trailer is it reminds you of how far we've come in gaming, and that's an older game. That's like 10 years old or more. And they're making another one, by the way, a sequel. But for me, I like the fact that it's somewhere between a book and a film and you're in it. That's what it's always felt like with gaming for me. Now, my gaming story starts way back when with an Atari in our household. It might have been something else first, but my first memory as a child gaming was an Atari. Not this Atari, no, but I do distinctly remember that type of joystick. And we actually in our house had the Atari that was like the black one with a silver stripe across it, and it had like a multicolored stripe across that as well. And then we upgraded to a slightly different joystick that had a button on the top as well, and it almost molded to your hand. We'll take a look at that right now, but look at it. The brown and the black, it's just so redolent of being young. Like, we had a record player, you know, that looked like this with the wooden effect on it. Oh wow, it's kind of still a thing of beauty, and they're still available to buy now. Not obviously brand new, but you can buy yourself one, probably reconditioned, potentially not working, but who cares? It's like owning a piece of history, right? Anybody remember that game? That game was my pivotal game. I don't remember what we actually owned it on. I don't know if I even owned it. It might have been a cousin's console that we played it on. And they remade it. It's on Steam right now. I literally couldn't believe it when I was researching this video. I was like, what? They released it a cajillion years ago and they've remade it. So you can play it now. There was something about the character and the way he moved and the way they animated him and the way he looked so human as he ran across the screen that I vividly remember. It's one of my earliest memories as a child. Vividly remember being mesmerized by this character and how they'd managed to make him move on the screen. And it was that really ignited my love of gaming, this sort of escapism. Now, I've travelled back in time to look at the ColecoVision because our beloved Hammy Hamdalf in the Discord family mentioned this, and it felt like it was one of the older ones. No offence, Hammy. And he mentions in the Discord his childhood was when PCs were just coming out. And the funny thing about computers is that as long as they have existed, there have been games to play on them. Even when you had to travel to a terminal on a college campus, for example, just to find one. Anyway, he was intrigued by something as simple as a stick figure digging holes to escape monsters. He guesses precursor to Dig Dug. It was fun, it was interactive. My first home system was a ColecoVision and my first game was Pitfall. This is what Hammy is saying in our Discord. A good amount of time was spent jumping various scary things. Arcades were where the real action was for him growing up. How many quarters disappeared for a couple of minutes of glory, but it was about the social nature of gaming. And he goes on to talk about consoles and, you know, the modern day gaming. And Hammy and I both played Warframe. That's our common beloved game that we played together. Unbelievably, it's like the games bring people together. Now, I'm not a sociable person generally by nature. I am a solo player in life as well as gaming, but there's something very sweet and warm about the Discord fam that's growing and the Warframe community and other communities. But I'm very interested though, your experiences in communities and what maybe the most toxic communities you've been in are for what game genres or games, or what are the most warm and welcoming and supportive communities you've been in. I'm actually genuinely interested. And as you can see, we're doing a few close-up shots of the keyboards because I was obsessed with keyboards as a child, like stupidly obsessed. I still am. What kind of keyboards do we like, everyone? Is it the clicky-clacky? Is it the creamy? What? Do you like light-up ones? Do you like the subdued ones? Do you like the sort of steampunk vibe, the typewriter? Tell me about your keyboards. I'm obsessed. Now, after we got our Atari in our household, we did end up having some kind of home computer system. I don't know what it was. Don't know if it was an Amstrad, a Commodore. All I remember is that we played these types of games on it. We played Gryzor, which I didn't realise was part of an arcade game called Contra, I believe. Didn't know that as a child. It kind of looks very much like the Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator vibe, does it not? And also games like Silkworm, which my brother and I would play together, and it was amazing. I loved every second of it. I think I was always the Jeep and he was always the helicopter. I don't know, I can't remember. We used to use joysticks to play. One would play a joystick, one would play on keyboard, and we played games like Moonwalker, but I can't find the version of Moonwalker that we played. It was a very unique version, and we had all sorts of games. And my mum also had a book that came with the computer that we could program in our own games, like the little tennis game where you knock the ball backwards and forwards to each side of the screen. We literally sat for like a week and typed that in. Yeah, she wasn't stupid, my mum. She kept us very busy. It was so much fun. And now I briefly want to bring you some information from Karnov, also in our lovely Discord family. He wrote that he started with the lovely Atari 2600 with faux wood furniture and big clicky silver switches. Then onto the Amstrad 464 with the green screen and Atari ST. Games of note for him were the Xenon 2 Mega Blast, Midwinter, Speedball 2, Carrier Command, and he got his first taste of PC gaming in 1995 with the games Half-Life and Jagged Alliance 2. They were absolute mold breakers, and he fell in love with the Half-Life modding community, making maps and playing all sorts of mods, including a little known mod called Counter-Strike and Team Fortress. Around that time, he got into Operation Flashpoint, a massive open world shooter, which really broke the mold and would eventually lead on to games like DayZ. Then came the MMO era, and finally the juggernaut that was World of Warcraft in 2004, where he met his wife. How cool is that? And I just want to show you, this is actually 3D River Raid, but Game Daughter in our Discord mentioned that her birth mother helped her get into gaming and they played River Raid together. And also, sorry I couldn't find footage of it, this is the kind of remade 3D version on Steam available if you want to go down memory lane, my love. And then we have C Wolf X UK. He said his mum also got him into gaming and then he overtook her, and he loved to play games like Elite. He played Monster Hunter and also Elder Scrolls Skyrim. And C Wolf X UK, if you don't know, has his own YouTube channel, I think pretty much dedicated to the game Elite. If you're interested in that, go and check it out.
The witness nears the final shape.
One last step, together, into the end.
Lightbearer, don't you see how beautiful it all could be? Join us.
Nobody makes my fate but me.
Let us defy destiny together.
We're gonna drop plate number 7.
They're gonna do what?
What the?
So, I mean, I know that was a Destiny 2 trailer, but I can get all the footage of all the different games that my Discordians mentioned. We had Triori mentioning Destiny 1, where she met a partner in her life. We have Cloud that also said they played Destiny and created a massive friend group from that. And also Silver Dragon plays Destiny 3. And then people mentioning Final Fantasy. Now, I remember Final Fantasy, not because I played it myself, but because of one of my ex-boyfriends. He played the original Final Fantasy 7, I believe. Whatever the pixelated version of it was. I don't remember. All I remember was it was stressful. He was stressed, he was pressed, but he enjoyed every second of it, and he loved Final Fantasy and probably still plays it to this day. Who knows? But I know that a lot of people in my Discord have also got a soft spot for it, and I can understand why. And Triori also mentioned a game called Alex the Kid, but this is kind of a remake of that game, I think. Trey, let me know if it rings any bells. It's on Steam right now. She also mentioned games like Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage. She also mentioned Zelda, and she also mentioned Minecraft. So like a huge, and the Final Fantasy, obviously a huge array of games that my Discordians love, and they cross over a lot. A lot of them mention them. Again, feel free to come to the Discord. There's a whole gaming channel and they talk about their love of gaming there. These whole kind of little mini essays, and some of them sent me private messages to explain why the games meant so much to them in their personal lives. I mean, it's not over dramatic to say that gaming has kept some people like going through life, through all of the ups and downs that they've suffered through. It's pure escapism and comfort, really.
You have my total attention now. I'm not quite sure if I've got yours though.
Now, I don't want to sound melodramatic, but the original Tomb Raider games had me in a chokehold as a young woman. I remember having a Sega Saturn for a very short amount of time, and I think that Tomb Raider was the reason I switched to a PlayStation 1, because I had a little CD of the demo for this game, and also I think Resident Evil, and I wanted to play it and I couldn't do it, I don't believe, on my Sega Saturn. I think that was cartridge based with maybe a slot for a CD. Someone remind me, I can't remember. It wasn't very good, so we switched to PlayStation and PlayStation 2. Me and my partner at the time, I was only a young woman, and I was obsessed with the demo and I was obsessed with Lara Croft. And I've really enjoyed the later games they made, the Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I've actually done a Rise of the Tomb Raider playthrough and I'm playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider through at the moment on my channel. Please go and check out those playlists. I have quite a few going on over there. And obviously I'm just showing you here a little clip from Warframe at the moment. The update 1999 has come out. And it fascinates me now that we used to play games, those little tiny games on those little tiny handheld devices. Like Super Mario came out on one of those handheld devices. And then we had like the Game Boy, the Nintendo Game Boy. Do you remember those? You used to have the pocket versions as well. I had a see-through version. There was a transparent phase of everything being transparent. Do you remember that too? And now we've kind of gone full circle where we've got our mobile phones, our cell phones, and we can play these really new, up-to-date games on our mobiles now, these handheld devices. And I know it's always been like that, but it feels like somehow we're coming full circle.
You are of the undead, forever without hope, forever without light.
And this is what I love about these games. This trailer is so good, by the way, for Dark Souls 2, is that they simultaneously want to take you back in time or to a different realm of fantasy, or they want to take you deep into the future. I so badly wanted to play the Cyberpunk trailer, Blackbeard, because you mentioned that game and that trailer is bomb, but I wasn't sure if it was going to get me copyrighted because the music was amazing. But Anomalous and Zenwick both mentioned this game, and all of my Discordians mentioned so many games and so many reasons why they love them. I don't have time to put it in a video, like, unless I want to keep it under 30 minutes and not bore the absolute living out of you. But let's take a moment, because Subnautica Below Zero was one of the first playthroughs I did on my channel. It's not great, but if you want to go and check it out, please do. I was learning the ropes. And this is the trailer for the second one. You better believe I'm going to be getting that early access for that Subnautica 2 game. It looks so damn good. And apparently it is going to be multiplayer. The hint was in that trailer, that little teaser. And as we watch a little bit of DayZ, a game that I literally can't stop going back to as weirdly a comfort game. I want to talk about that. The idea that gaming is this comforting, safe space, even though some of the games are so incredibly stressful. They test your patience, they test your sanity. I'm doing a Dead Space, the remade version, 2023 version, playthrough at the moment, and I'm utterly terrified. I'm stressed out and I'm pressed at all times. And I even rage quit at one point because of the first boss fight. I know, I got a lot to learn. And speaking of comfort games, let's turn our attention to one of the comfort game franchises, shall we?
As a pirate of these treacherous seas, you taught me how to live in liberty and die defiant.
These pirates have been found guilty of theft, treason, and murder, and are thus sentenced to be hanged from their necks until dead.
They will execute me in the morning, Edward. But they will never restrain you.
All hands aft, lads! We're taking this one home!
Once gold was your only care.
I want a taste of the good life. An easy life.
Now your courage terrifies empires.
If a man plays the fool, then it's only fools he'll persuade, but appear to be the devil. And all men will submit.
And kings and queens curse your name. You defy them by living free. I shall not live to see the world you were shaping, but I know it will be a better one.
To court us all, man the cannons!
Let's hear the roar of this beast!
Send them to hell!
Now, I haven't played all of the Assassin's Creed games. I've had a good try, though. But out of the ones I have played, Black Flag was always the one that stood out for me. Let me know which ones thus far you've really enjoyed, maybe why. Kind of direct the rest of us to the ones to avoid and the ones to get stuck into. I tried Valhalla, but it was such an in-depth game, I just didn't have time to get really deep into it at that point on my channel, but I may go back to it. And I just wanted to talk again, going back in time to the games where I began. Like, do you remember the original Grand Theft Autos? Because obviously I haven't mentioned Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty here, but do you remember the original Grand Theft Autos from the overhead view? I still own my PS2, PlayStation 2, and I still own those original GTA games, including GTA London. Do you remember? We are the mods. We are the mods. And another game that I was mildly obsessed with on the PlayStation was Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey. He used to talk like he had a cold. Do you remember? It'd be like, follow me. And then you would fart. I don't remember which game it was in, but you could fart and then enchant your fart and send it off on different levels to do things for you. Do you remember? It was so niche, unique and weird. And he was so adorable. And the final game I just want to briefly mention, because I haven't mentioned all the big games like, I don't know, Player Unknown Battlegrounds, and you know, the other very popular one where you run around and kill other people and have to be the last survivor. There's lots of versions of those types of game. I don't really enjoy those, but fill your boots in the comments if you do. I just wanted to mention Red Dead Redemption 2. I was going to put the trailer in, but it's copyrighted. I was going to put some of my own footage in, but can I get the PC version to run on my PC? I could, don't get me started. It's a whole endeavour. I'll get there eventually. Anyway, loved that game, loved Arthur, loved that story. Let me know what you thought of Red Dead Redemption 2 if you played it, and obviously the first one leading up to it. It was so good. Man, I wish I had more hours in the day. You know, the full-time job's getting in the way of this job. And this is what I love doing, my darlings. And you guys are making it possible for me to just continue and ramble on at you. And I do apologise for rambling, but it's just nice to let my hair down and talk at you and not have to do a guide or a specific thing or, you know, cower in the dark of Dead Space. And if there are games you want to see me play, again, comment or come to my Discord and let me know. I'm playing Dead Space because one of my viewers in my Discordian suggested it and they said they'd like to see me play it. Boy, am I ruining the day that I agreed to do that, but it's fine. It's a learning curve, right? So I need you to come and hold my hand whilst I'm playing it, but you know, whatever. I won't look you in the eye or anything, I promise. I won't make it weird. Okay, I'll make it weird. Anyway, my darlings, I am going to stop rambling now. I want to thank you, my Discordians. Please stick around. Please like, please comment, please sub, whatever you can spare me. In the meantime, go and watch all my other videos. What are you doing? Oh, and by the way, this is like a 30-minute video, and I meant it to be a 10 to 15-minute video. I just can't do the short stuff. I can't, even though I am quite a short ass in real life. Anyway, talking too much, my darlings. I really do hope to see you again in the next one. But for now, you take care, my loves, and goodbye.